In this video, I want to talk about Katt Williams' interview with Shannon Sharpe and how so many people, a lot of people do not like the fact that he spoke up and said what he said about the people he talked about. And then I also want to show how this kind of goes back to slavery, the mentality that is still going on now with a lot of Black people when it comes to speaking up and speaking out. First, I want to show you two videos and then I will come back with my opinion.
What do you feel about what she said?
You know, that was part of my thing that I tied into the Katt Williams situation. You know, and listen, I mean, I know you want to jump into that.
No, let's just do what you do, man. I mean, you know, this is a thing where when I first seen it, I mean, he slid across the board on everybody. He didn't leave nobody out when he was talking about people that he had evidently had some type of encounter with over the years, you know?
Right.
So I felt like, okay, when he got it off, I already know how he is, you know what I'm saying? So I know but he don't talk a lot. He ain't just getting on no big platforms or doing podcasts. So when it hit, I didn't expect to do what it did, but that thing went crazy, man.
Yeah, you know, listen, and I'm catching flack for it like a motherfucker on my page. You know, it's like I'm Scarface at the end of the movie where I'm on the balcony with 1,000 Colombians trying to shoot at me. You know what I mean? But I stand on what I said, and you know, I know, I feel like, honestly, part of the reason why people are upset or there's the backlash is because they see themselves in that mirror that I'm pointing in their direction.
Yeah.
You know, my original point was, you know, listen, there's a reason why the saying exists within the Black community, crabs in a barrel. You know what I mean? And slavery has done such a number on us that, you know, rather than just come together the way that we should for the betterment of us, this is what we do. We love drama. We love gossip. We love this bullshit. And my whole point was, and still is, this is a news cycle. And when people say things like protect Katt at all costs, and he's the GOAT, and I said on my post, everybody is the GOAT to their fan base. And I'm not going to dilute him being your GOAT. If that's your GOAT, I applaud it. He's a talented motherfucker. He's one of the best in the game. So I can understand that subjective feeling.
But you said Richard Pryor is the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. But GOAT talk aside, my thing was, when you go protect him at all costs, let's have some perspective. He didn't turn the world on his axis. He's not curing cancer. He's not curing AIDS. He's not solving racism. He's not solving Black poverty. So when you say protect him, what are you protecting him about? And you go, well, he told his truth. All right, but how did his truth help you? How did his truth change your life? How did his truth change anything? All those people he talked about, they still gonna get their bread. They still gonna have their fan base. They still gonna work. People still gonna respect them and adore them. What was the purpose of that? My thing is this: why not use that mouthpiece and that platform and that energy for the betterment of us? So now you got beef with all these people. You've given them reasons to not like you over what? Who stole the joke? And I was telling my man that drove me down here, what a lot of people don't know is Katt's a hypocrite. Because Katt done stole jokes. One of his most popular jokes on one of his specials, he took from JB Smoove. So everybody's stolen jokes.
Right.
But again, finger pointing and talking shit, how does that help us? Now, when you look at Taraji P. Henson and you go, and she's not the only one that's complained, Viola Davis,
Monique,
her, look at all our Black actresses, Gabrielle Union, Regina Hall, they all face that problem. So why not go, instead of beefing, Kevin, Katt, let's do a movie together. Let's hire those Black actresses. Let us and the Black community and Black Hollywood come together and form like Voltron so that we can do what white folks do without needing white folks. You know, it's like, why do we have to wait for them to give us our flowers on their Oscars or their Emmys or their Golden Globes? Where's our own award shows? We've been too separated for too long, and this is what we talk about.
Yeah, but
news cycle.
But because she stepped out and said what she said, 50 Cent reached out to her and wanted to work with her and trying to help her to get that bag, a bigger bag than what she's ever gotten. Because he even said, you know, because I think people thought that he was joking around when he said what he said. He came back and said, look at what I got for Mary J from Stars because of me. I can do that for her.
Yeah. Okay, but Why are we waiting for her to come to tears? We should have been done this. You know, that studio called DreamWorks that's made up of David Geffen, Eisenberg, and Spielberg. Where is our DreamWorks? Yeah, we got Tyler Perry, but that's all we got.
That's all we got.
We got billionaires. We got Oprah. We got Jay-Z. We got Michael Jordan.
Robert Smith.
We got Magic Johnson. Robert Smith. When are we going to come together so that we can build our own empire to amass our own wealth and then take that money and funnel it back into our communities?
Oftentimes, people who are religious think their religion is right and everybody else is wrong. There is only one way to God. But Steve's faith is unique because it's really not about that.
There's no one way to heaven, no one way to paradise. It's like television. Now it's over 800 channels of cable, and they're all pretty entertaining. So I'm pretty sure, man, that to get to heaven, there's got to be more than one route. Because somebody watching another channel or taking another channel than you, they still getting entertained, and they probably still getting to heaven.
As you can see in the first video, that was an interview that Aries Spears did on a podcast. And so he felt that Katt should not have said anything, that Katt should not have spoke his truth, because whatever was going on with Katt, he had issues with everyone he spoke about, and he went on Shannon Sharp's platform to get that off his chest. So how can you tell a person they cannot speak their truth when you're going around speaking your opinion about him speaking his truth? You're doing the same thing you're saying he should not have done. Because if nothing he did was important, or you feel that it was unnecessary, or you feel that it was a waste of time, then why are you wasting your time by talking about him wasting his time and wasting everyone else's time? You're basically doing the same thing. That's one thing I wanted to speak on. The second thing about his interview is that he was saying that Black people love drama. And I do agree with him on that. Black people do love drama, and that do stems back to slavery. Black people have been raised by dysfunctional people who has been raised by dysfunctional people, and that dysfunction is keep being passed on and passed on. That is something that do need to stop. That is something that do need to change, but not in the way that he's speaking about, because all he's doing is also focusing on negativity and dysfunction. He's getting upset with people who saying protect Katt at all costs, because he's saying, you know, who is Katt? What did he do? He didn't cure cancer. He didn't do any of this. But if you think about it, Wanda Smith, when he was joking with her on her radio station, she took the jokes too far, got upset, and had her husband to meet Katt at the club, and Katt said he pulled a gun on her and on him, and she ended up losing her job behind that. And then recently, Faison Love called the police on Katt, and he was arrested. So in Katt's case, you might honestly say protect Katt at all costs, because some people, I guess, they can't take his jokes, or they feel a certain type of way about him. Then the other thing he stated when it came to Taraji P. Henson, like I say, he's saying that people love focus on negativity. And he spoke about how Taraji P. Henson, you know, she was crying because she was saying that she wasn't getting enough money. And they spoke about Monique and how she's saying that she was blackballed and different things like that. So when the woman that was on there interviewing him mentioned this, he was saying, yeah, we need to come together. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then she brought up 50 Cent. She's like, well, 50 Cent stepped up and said that he would help Taraji get money. And, you know, because look what he did for Mary J. Blige on Stars, he could do that for Taraji also. And 50 Cent, you know, when no one wanted to hire Monique, he reached out to Monique and hired her on one of his shows on Stars. But at the same time, Aries Spears just kind of flew by that. Instead of acknowledging what 50 Cent did, instead of saying, well, that's a great job, instead of focusing on the positive, what this one Black man is trying to do for Black people, instead of focusing on that, he kind of curved around that and said, well, why did they have to wait till she started crying? That goes back to Katt Williams speaking his truth. If no one speak their truth and say, hey, this is what's happening to me, who's going to know what they're going through? How are we, Joe Public, going to know that Taraji P. Henson isn't getting paid like she should get paid, or feel that she should get paid or deserve to get paid if she doesn't speak out? Yeah, Monique spoke out, but who really had Monique back to say, okay, this is what we need to do? Yeah, other actresses, black actresses spoke out, but whoever really had their black back to say, yeah, we're going to come together as black people and support them and make sure that all black women or all black actors and actresses get their just due rewards when it comes to pay. No one did that, but now you want to get mad at Katt because he's speaking his truth. And like I said, if no one speaks up, no one knows what's going on in people's personal lives, especially when they're so disconnected from them. Joe Public don't live in Hollywood. Joe Public don't have those experiences of being an actor, an actress, in the music industry or any of that. So unless people in those industries speak up, tell the truth, let the world know what's going on behind those curtains, Joe Public is not going to know. So how can you get upset at people or, other people for not doing anything when you're telling people they shouldn't speak up about their truth? They shouldn't speak up and tell people how they feel. And like I said, that goes back to slavery, because a lot of things happened to black people that they could not speak up about. They had to keep it in. When they're seeing their wives get raped, when they're seeing their wives get art, they can't say anything. When they're seeing their children get art, they can't say anything. When families are being broken apart, they can't say anything. They have to keep all that in themselves and to just deal with it internally. There was no, oh, let me go to therapy. There was no this or this. It's just shut up and deal with it. Shut up and deal with it. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. So all that trauma is built up, and it goes on from generation to generation to generation, to the point that 2024, as black people, we're still dealing with the same issue. We're still dealing with people who feel like no matter what happened to other people, when you look at what the videos I did about the different churches, the grooming that goes on in the churches, the assaults, the essays, all that. And not just recently, I have done videos a while back about this, and not just with black churches. When you look at the Catholic Church, all those boys who have been SA'd because people don't want to speak up. They look at these people as being in power positions, like, oh, the preacher, he's, a good man in the community, this, that, and other, so they don't want to speak up. They look at certain people, depending on if they're an actor or actress, a producer, oh, they're in power positions, so they can do anything they want, and people don't speak up. And as long as people don't speak up, you're going to continue to have all this dysfunction going on, because these people are holding this stuff in. They're dealing with all this trauma, but they don't want to tell anyone, or they feel they can't tell anyone. Or if they do say something, someone else is standing next to them, like Aries Spears, saying, don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Who really cares? You're not doing anything. You're not saving the world. You're not saving, you're not curing cancer. So don't say anything. That's his mentality. He is a person that's continued to deal with drama, because when he's speaking about, hey, as black people, we need to get together. Look who name he threw in the ring. He threw Oprah Winfrey name out there. He threw Tyler Perry name out there. Did Oprah Winfrey associate with people who was into SA? Wasn't Oprah Winfrey one of the people that Monique said blackballed her? Isn't Tyler Perry one of the people that Monique said blackballed her? And then even with that situation with Christian Keys, even though he did not say a name, but he was alluding to, and everyone felt that he was alluding to Tyler. Like I said, I'm saying all this is allegedly, but he was alluding. So why would you put these people's name out there in the positive, trying to help other black people, when you have these black people saying they're not helping me, they're holding me back, they're holding me down? So what are you really trying to do? Whose side are you really on? Are you really trying to uplift black people, or are you not? Because if more black people spoke up, like I said in a video that I did about Aries Spears, and excuse me, Aries Spears, when he was did a comedy skit where he was playing a pedo, and that did not, it's like, how could you think that was funny? He's sitting there thinking that was funny, and he did that video. And so that kind of tells you his mindset, because a lot of people say, okay, he's putting on the dress, he's doing this, he's doing that. He's like, he don't care. If it's a part that he want to play, he's going to play it. But you see, that's bad decision, because why would you think at any point in time that being a pedo and having a child on scene is funny in any type of way? Because it's not. And so to look at how you're moving, you're not stopping to acknowledge a person, 50 Cent, that's trying to do something positive and to help these people really get the money they deserve. You would rather focus on the two of the people that, other people are saying are holding them down, are holding them back. And then also with the second video with Steve Harvey, as Christians, we know there's only one way according to the Bible. So how can you be a Christian or say you're a Christian, and then you're contradicting the Bible by saying there's more than one way to get to heaven? There's more than one way. When Jesus himself said, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. There's only one way to get to the Father, and that's through me. So as a Christian, if you're reading your Bible and you're saying, I don't agree with that, then how can you truly call yourself a Christian? Because being a Christian is saying, I am a follower of Christ. I am a follower of Jesus. And if Jesus is saying this and you don't believe what he's saying, then you are not a true Christian. And so he goes around speaking, acting, talking like, he's a Christian, and he's talking about what God did for him, and he's so thankful that God did this. So my question is, what God are you talking about? Because if you're talking about the God in the Bible, then you believe that there's only one way to get to him, and that's through Jesus. If you're saying there's more than one way, then who are you talking about? Because it's not the same God. We're not, dealing with the same God here. Because God is not a God of confusion. He's not going to have you saying, in the Bible, he's not going to be saying, oh, there's only one way, then, oh, no, there's many ways. That's going to bring on confusion. God is not a God of confusion. He's telling you, this is it. This is the only way. But Steve Harvey is contradicting that and saying something else. The same thing with Oprah Winfrey. She said there's more than one way. And if you think about it, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, and then you see that they also associate with T.D. Jakes. If you look at all these people who associate with each other, and you see how Oprah Winfrey was associating with these other men who was involved with SA and all this other stuff, and she's glossing over it. She's not talking about it. She's not saying they're wrong. She's not doing any of those things. She's just trying to disassociate herself from these people, but not really speak about what these people did and how they was wrong for what they did. So you got to kind of sit there and think about the people, how the moves they make, the things they do, and how they behave. We cannot keep holding these lies in. We have to start telling the truth. If you want things to change, you have to change the way you start doing things. So if these people are in these industries and they're seeing all this stuff going on, they're seeing how people are using their powers, they're seeing how people are blackballing other people. If more people, like they say, there's power in numbers. So more people speak out, more people say this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. That is going to tear down that curtain. That is going to shine a light on there. That's going to get these people to start thinking about, hey, we need to change what we're doing. We can't keep doing the same old, And like I said, that goes back to slavery, because when they had the Bible, when anytime on the plantation, when black people started getting upset, when black people started, did not want to work and do what the slave master had them to do, and they felt that it might be a revolt, they would bring in the black preacher. They would tell the black preacher exactly what to say, exactly how to act, exactly how to calm the people down by saying, hey, if you be a good slave, when you die, you get to heaven. So it's not Christianity that's the issue. It's not the fact that people want to be Christian that's the issue. It's how they manipulated people with Christianity. It's how they manipulated people with the Bible. And like I said, you can see the same thing that's going on in the church today. It's the same thing that was going on back then. You see how these preachers, pastors, bishops, and all that is lying about the Bible, manipulating the Bible, changing the words around to get these people all excited, to get these people all hyped. But what they're doing has nothing to do with God. That's the same thing they did in slavery. And like I said, the only thing happened is all that dysfunction kept carrying over. That's why people are upset with what Katt said, because he's speaking the truth. You are never wrong when you're speaking the truth. Why should someone tell you to shut up when you're speaking the truth? The only people who's upset about the truth are the people who are invested in the lie. Because if he's speaking the truth and the truth has nothing to do with you, why are you upset? Why don't you just say, okay, he spoke his truth? Great, fine, because everyone has the right to speak their truth. But no, instead you feel that he should not have said anything, that, oh, these are just about jokes. That's his life, jokes. So if he's speaking his truth about comedians, jokes, or whatever, that's his truth. That's his right. But he was speaking the truth about more than just that. He was speaking the truth about mentality of people in certain industries. He was speaking his truth about what some people are willing to do in order to get ahead. But you want to play all that down because you are one of those people that's fitting in that other category that don't want the truth out, because the truth going to affect how you live, or how you associate with people. Because like I said, the only people who don't like the truth are the people who are invested in the lie. And as always, I would like to kind of go over scripture in the Bible. And this is John 8:31 through 36. And this is ESV. So Jesus said to the Jews who had believed him, if you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. They answered him, we are offsprings of Abraham and have never been enslaved to anyone. How is it that you say you will become free? Jesus answered them, truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who is Jesus said to him, truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not remain in the house forever. The son remains forever. So if the son set you free, you will be free indeed. So the truth, the only way we as black people in black communities moving forward is going to break that chain of dysfunction, break the chain of just living in, just enjoying dysfunction, enjoying negativity. The only way we're going to break free of that is when these people who are being held down by lies, by deceit, by evil people start speaking their truth, start speaking up, start letting people know what's going on. Because if no one speaks up, who really know what's going on behind the closed doors? Who really know how people are treating you? Who really know your plight if you don't speak about your plight because you're afraid to, or someone telling you not to, or you got to hold it in? There's a lot of kids that are being SA in churches and places like that, and they're afraid to speak up, or their parents don't speak up because they always want to say the preacher is the leader in the black community. Who made preachers leaders in the black community? The worst thing like I said in another video I made, the worst thing that ever happened to black people is black churches, not Christianity, because if they would have been taught the true Christianity way, if they would have been taught the Bible the way the Bible is actually laid out, if they would have been really taught about a relationship with God and not a relationship with preachers, the black community would be very successful right now. But the black churches, these black leaders, these black people who want to be empowered and hold everyone else down because they want to be next to the master. They want to be, as long as they have a position that's other than being they're a slave, but they're not the field slave. They're more closer to the master, so they're more happy and they feel like they're getting something. So in order for them to keep their position, they got to hold everyone else down. And that's the mentality that you see in the industries. That's the mentality that you see these people with when they get upset. Why would you get upset with someone who's saying, hey, this person did this to me, hey, this person hurt me, this person did that, and and the other? Why would you get upset with those people instead of encouraging them to, hey, yeah, speak up. Hey, if they actually violate you and you want to press charges, go ahead and press charges. Why do people get upset about that? Why do people work hard to protect the POs? Why do people work hard to protect the people who's taking advantage of other people? They work hard to protect those people because they want to protect their position. That's the only thing they're worried about, is their position. That's the only thing they care about, is their position. So if they need to hold you down, knock you down, keep you quiet, do whatever they need to do in order to maintain their position, that's what they're going to do. And that's the situation that's going on with Katt when people are getting upset with him because of him speaking his truth. They didn't get upset with people speaking their lies. They didn't get upset with no one going on Shannon Sharp's show lying, because Katt wasn't the only person who knew the truth. There was other people who knew the truth, but they didn't say anything. So when Katt came and spoke his truth, why get mad at him? You didn't get mad at the lies, so why get mad at the truth?